So I came across an article recently that made the claim that GTA 6 might end up being the last truly great video game ever made. And at first, I kind of just brushed it off. But the more that I thought about it, it really started to make a lot of sense to me. So now I want to talk about why I think there's real substance behind that claim, and why GTA 6 might be more important than people currently realize. It's not just going to be a massive cultural moment, but I think it's going to be a marker for what game development is actually capable of before everything is going to change. Before we get into it, if you like GTA 6 and you're super excited, please consider subscribing, because that's all we talk about here, and maybe liking the video if you end up liking it. So let's think first about how games have functioned our entire lives. You've always had these crafted experiences that have set rules, a story, and usually a narrative where everything is intentionally structured by human developers who basically make deliberate choices of what the player experience is going to be like. And that's just how gaming has worked for decades. Every single level and every mission is designed by an actual person that's sitting down and building it piece by piece. And that is the foundation of what we considered a real game. But that same foundation is already starting to shift because of AI. We are seeing more companies begin experimenting with generative AI directly inside of video games. And while it's still fairly limited right now, I really think that I've seen instances of it starting to creep in, and I think you have too. And unfortunately, I think that this is exactly where the entire industry is headed. In about 5 to 10 years, I think most games are going to be heavily AI driven, where the experiences themselves are going to be generated and tailored specifically to you as an individual player, rather than being handcrafted by a team of developers with a singular creative vision. Now, on paper, that might really sound exciting to some people. It's basically games that adapt endlessly to exactly what you want. But let's be honest, I think that something genuinely gets lost in that type of transition, and that thing is human craftsmanship. That deliberate, intentional artistry that comes from real people that pour years of their lives into building something gets lost. Procedural generation and generative AI are going to make games cheaper and faster to produce, but I don't think that they're going to replicate that same level of soul and intention anytime soon. And that's exactly why I think GTA 6 is going to end up being one of the last games ever made at this scale, with this level of manpower and genuine craftsmanship poured into every single detail. This is a game that's being built by an army of developers dedicating years of their lives to handcraft an entire living world down to the smallest detail. And I really do think that we're looking at one of the greatest pieces of digital art human beings will ever create. And I don't say that lightly. And because here's the thing, I think that games that come after GTA 6 are only going to lean further into procedural generation and generative AI as studios chase lower costs and faster development cycles. And I hate saying that because it does feel pessimistic, but when you actually look at the direction that the industry is headed, it's hard not to arrive at that same conclusion. I think even smaller indie studios are eventually going to start leaning into those tools simply because the technology becomes cheaper and more accessible over time. And the temptation to cut corners is going to be everywhere. Now, I do think there are a small handful of games that could potentially rival what GTA 6 is doing. Specifically, CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2 and Witcher 4 come to mind immediately, since that studio has consistently proven that they still care about handcrafted detail. You got Elder Scrolls 6, which is another one that I've considered, but honestly, I've lost a lot of faith in Bethesda at this point, and I could really see them leaning into things like endlessly generated dungeons or something like that instead of handcrafted content. So even that one feels pretty uncertain to me. So when you really think about all of this, you realize that GTA 6 is going to stand as this defining line in gaming history. It's going to be a marker that separates the era of handcrafted human-made worlds from whatever comes after. And I'm not saying this because I don't think AI-driven games won't be fun or impressive in their own way, but I'm saying this because that feeling of specifically knowing that every single detail is placed there intentionally by a person is going to be pretty much gone. And I don't think that we're going to experience it again at this level of scale that we will in GTA 6. But let me know what you think. Do you think that GTA 6 is going to be the last truly great game made the old-fashioned way? Or do you think that I'm being really pessimistic about where the industry is headed? Let me know down in the comments. And if you guys want to talk to me or hang out, I live stream every night at 12:30 Eastern Time. We're finishing up LA Noire, so if you guys want to hang out, talk GTA 6, you know where to find me. And we also have a Discord in the link in the description if you want a community to join and hang out in. With that being said, like I always say, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you guys in Vice City.